We are not disposable. We are not disposable. We are not disposable.
We want to invite everybody up close.
Seriously.
Pastor Daniels, please.
Seriously.
My name is Promise Lee, pastor of Relevant Word Ministries, spokesperson for the Bailey family. We're gathered here in front of City Hall to list a few demands and also invitations. I'm flanked with several people here from the community. Greg, the father of Devon, some pastors here that are also in support, and in the fight for us to get justice. I'm going to ask Pastor Daniel just to take a moment and share your commitment of your group as we fight for justice.
The Southern Colorado Ministerial Union wants to stand with the Bailey family to have independent counsel here in this state, in this situation, so that it can be looked at from a scope of eyes that are not connected to our local government system. We want to stand in unified efforts with that until we can reach some justice.
I want to at this time call Sean Walls. He was one that took the petition up to the Attorney General's office.
All right, guys, thanks. So yes, first we want to thank the everybody that signed the petition and that joined along with us in our effort to get somebody to take a look at these things that these issues that we all have. I was really prepared to talk to the people, to the folks that came here that supported the whole movement that we're trying to create here. But the main thing that I want the city to know is that the city council is meeting on the 27th, next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We want you all to join us there. They want to hear our voice. They're inviting the city there, and we want to make sure that we continue this petition. So if you see it online, make sure you share it, you sign it. If you hear somebody or you see somebody on the street, help them out and sign it up, so we can make sure that we continue this thing. It looks like Southers is going to fight this. They're going to turn it into a political issue. When we're really trying to talk about, getting justice, for Devon. I'm sorry, I'm not one with words, man. I'm trying not to cuss because I'm really upset. So, I'll just say thank you all, and just continue, and man, we'll make sure that we keep this thing live, huh?
Yeah. My name is Kevin Mitchell. I work in the community with various organizations, and for my people that couldn't make it out today, and my family and community behind me, we need to know that this work doesn't stop. It doesn't stop when somebody makes the headline saying that we should call for an outside investigation. It doesn't stop when Mayor Southers says it's all under control, because it is not. We don't trust you, Mayor Southers. We don't trust you, Sheriff Miller. We do not trust you, Dan May. If the community knew that we could have an outcome that was justice, you wouldn't be trying to hide and cover up things. That's right. This is about the time for the people to rise up and hold you accountable for the jobs that some of you were voted in. You work for the people. You work for the people. You will give the people justice. And we tell you this, the system seems so large and humongous, it's not the size of the army. It is the heart and the fight in the army. Yes. And we are here standing with fight in our souls to bring justice, not for just Devon, but everybody you have shown justice in this city. We will no longer take it from you. We are not scared of you. We are here and committed to it. Justice. Yes. And you will give it to us, because we are here going to take it. Yes!
There's a resounding question to Mayor Southers. Is that, Mayor Southers, what does it cost for you to pass this on to an outside independent party. And the real question from us is, have you considered what is the expense if you don't push it out to an outside and independent agency investigation? At this point, we want to call Mari Newman, attorney for the Bailey family.
Thank you especially to this community for inviting us here to speak. I'm here with Dan Kay, who's also representing the Bailey family, as well as my client, Greg Bailey. That's Devon's father. He lost his oldest son, and it is an incredible tragedy. I want to talk about why it is that we have been asking for an independent and a transparent investigation into the police shooting of Devon Bailey. Why does it matter so much? Well, this is why it matters. Here in Colorado Springs, as you all know, this is a very tight law enforcement community. People move back and forth between the sheriff's office, between the police department.
Even their lawyers.
It's the same folks.
Even their private lawyers.
And so what do we need to see? We need to see a truly independent investigation. And so we have called for that. Now today we've been joined by a very important voice. Probably you've heard by now that Governor Jared Polis also issued a statement calling as the governor of the state of Colorado, and that's who should be doing the investigation into this killing by the Colorado Springs police, shooting a man in the back as he's running away. Now, Jared Polis has also been joined by others in the Colorado state government. Representative Leslie Herod, who grew up here in Colorado Springs, has likewise issued a statement calling for an independent investigation.
That's right.
And that's not just good for the community, that's good for everyone. Because there is no way that we can believe that it is a truly independent and truthful investigation unless we know it's done by somebody who's impartial. Now, what does that mean? The Colorado Bureau of Investigations would be an impartial agency that could do this investigation and should. And the Colorado Attorney General is who should be making any prosecutorial decisions. Why not the Colorado Springs? Why shouldn't the Colorado Springs Police Department be reviewed by the El Paso County Sheriff's Department? Just look at who is inside. Now, it's only been a few years since we know that the El Paso County Sheriff's Department had a fight club inside of the walls of the jail here, in which guards were competing to see who could get the most uses of force against inmates and intake into the jail. Is that who you want investigating the mistreatment of a black man who is shot in the back as he's running away?
No.
I say no. Now, who else is there? We're looking at people who move in between these agencies. You know, Pete Carey, for example, the El Paso County Sheriff's Department might say there's been some new blood brought in, but who is the new blood? Pete Carey, who spent 34 years working in the Colorado Springs Police Department, the last 7 years leading it, is now the undersheriff in the El Paso County Sheriff's Department. Is that who should be investigating the conduct of his friends and former colleagues? No, it isn't. So what we need is a truly independent investigative body, but not just independent investigators. The prosecutorial decisions that need to be made have to be independent as well. Now, what we don't want to see is Dan May of the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office sending it up to his buddies in the 18th right next door. They also are hand in glove. And there's nothing independent about asking your friend to do on your behalf what you shouldn't be doing yourself. What we know is that Dan May and George Brockler have worked hand in hand on various cases, that they are in fact both co-defendants being sued for mishandling evidence in a case here in Colorado Springs. Do we want to see an independent prosecutorial decision done by somebody who is a co-defendant of the district attorney here in Colorado Springs? No. And that is why we join Governor Polis, Representative Leslie Herod, and this community community who stands with me in saying we need a truly independent and transparent investigation by the Colorado Bureau of Investigations and prosecutorial decisions made by the state Attorney General's office. And I thank the community so much for that.
Thank you.
At this time, we're going to have a brief statement from Greg Bailey.
We just want to make sure we see justice for not just one, but for everybody that things like this happen to. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. I can't stop saying that. That's what runs through my head every day. I sit and think about me having to bury my child behind the people we're supposed to trust.
I think that sums it up. Any questions for the attorney?
I think a question for anybody who'd like to answer. You mentioned Polis's statement today. The family's response to that, the attorney's response to that, the community's response to having the governor say he also wants an investigation?
We have the utmost respect for Governor Polis in coming forward to say what needs to be said and to speak on behalf of the state in saying that we need a truly independent investigation. And without that, the community and the family has no basis to trust that it is a truly thorough and honest and independent investigation. And we're pleased to see Jared Polis taking the leadership to make that statement, and other state leaders like Leslie Herod who are likewise calling for independence in this investigation.
We also reached out to the Attorney General today just to say, have you received the petition? What are you going to do next? And he says that he's not allowed to intervene unless he's asked to. Like District Attorney Dan May would have to ask him to get involved. Thoughts on that, I guess, is now Dan May the person to address?
Here in Colorado Springs, the El Paso County Sheriff's Department needs to recuse itself from the investigation, and the District Attorney's Office, Dan May, needs to recuse itself from the prosecutorial decision. As I said, they are not independent, and those investigations and decisions need to be sent to somebody who is.
I'm listening in this relationship between the police department and the sheriff's department is based on a memorandum of understanding that does follow state statute. This, of course, is a case that has garnered a lot of publicity, but would you say that the same level of independence that you're asking for, would you suggest that for any time that the Colorado Springs Police Department needs to be investigated?
Yes, and this is an issue that's not just here in Colorado Springs or in Colorado generally, but across the nation. The need for independent investigations is critical. That can't happen when we're being investigated by our friends, the same people that we work with day in and day out. And that it has to be independent here in Colorado Springs and across the country. Now, as an example of the lack of independence here in Colorado Springs, on August 3rd, Colorado Springs Police Department issued a statement saying that the reason that they shot Devon Bailey in the back was because he was reaching for a firearm. Now, none of us saw that on the video. That's not what happened. But the very next day, the El Paso County Sheriff's Department, who is supposed to be performing the investigation, issues a repeat parroting the exact same falsehood that he was shot in the back for reaching for a firearm. Now, if they're supposed to be performing the investigation, the fact that they have already adopted the exact same lie that was used to justify shooting a man in the back as he ran away, that lets you know that will not be an independent investigation. They've already decided where they come out on it.
To take it a step further, would you say then that it's inappropriate for law enforcement entities within the same jurisdiction to investigate each other in any circumstance? I mean, to what degree do you think it needs to be changed as an overall system?
I absolutely agree that law enforcement agents within the same jurisdiction should not be investigating one another. It's just too close. And that doesn't just benefit the community, that benefits the police too. If the police want to gain community trust, they need to act in a way that justifies it. And the way to get trust is to be honest, independent, and forthcoming. That's not going to happen when friends are investigating friends.
A statement was released. There's no legal or ethical basis for an independent investigation. Is there a legal basis for one?
Well, there is absolutely a moral and ethical basis to have
a right to a fair
have an independent and fair investigation, and I'm certain that this community would agree with you.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. That's illegal. That's illegal. Yes.
Likewise, the law allows for independence in the investigation. That is why when people have either the reality of not being able to be independent or the appearance of not being independent, they should recuse themselves. And we call upon El Paso County Sheriffs and District Attorney Dan May to recuse themselves. They cannot be independent, and they certainly don't appear to be independent. The community needs to know that an independent investigation has been done and an independent prosecutorial decision has been made. And that's why Governor Polis even stood up and showed leadership in demanding the very same thing that the community here has demanded.
A statement said that the video was misleading. Do you mind explaining the body camera video was misleading or manipulated? Do you mind explaining what you meant by that?
Sure. Well, one of the issues is the family has demanded to see all of the evidence that is being used to justify shooting Javon Bailey in the back.
They won't give it to him.
Hey, we answered all
Springs won't give it to them.
What is their reinstatement as cops mean? How are they still working right now? How are they still back here out there working?
Yes. What happened to staying on suspension?
How are they still working?
Exactly.
Not only has the
Danger to public.
Not only has the full
This is so
investigative
real.
report not been released, but as the community is yelling out behind me, the police officers who shot Javon Bailey in the back were put back to work within just weeks, and in fact on the very day of his funeral. Now that's not just
I'm an
a slap
8-time
in the
felon. I ain't
back.
gonna get a bond.
Now, that's
I ain't
not
gonna get a
just
bond.
slap in the back to the family. It's also a slap in the face to the community. You don't put the police back on the street unless you've already come to the conclusion that they did nothing wrong. Well, that's not an investigation. That's announcing the answer before the investigation has even taken place.
Exactly.
How is this community supposed to trust that?
Not only that, but if you have your hands behind your back and you're cuffed, why let someone bleed out? Why not worry about putting some pressure on the wound until the police get there instead of worrying about stripping somebody and cutting clothes off? How about that? Basics. Basics. You're gonna let someone bleed out on the street instead of applying pressure when he's already cuffed. What happened to that?
End of this thing. How do we demand the department's violence is tracked on the front end, not the back end? How do we call on our legislators to say you need to track violence? We need to have policies in place that track the violence of police departments and how they affect communities and how that's escalated.
That is absolutely true. And here in Colorado Springs, as you all know, this is the 7th shooting by the police killing somebody within just this year. It's only August. I mean, and that it doesn't even consider all of the cases of excessive force and other types of brutality against people of color in this community.
Special K, they use that too. Horse tranquilizers.
That didn't lead to the level of killing them. This community has a serious problem. There needs to be tracking of police brutality within this community. There needs to be tracking of killings within this community, and that's not going to happen without some modicum of independence in the investigations that are done. There needs to be true investigations that are transparent and that are open and honest and independent.
Do you mind explaining the concerns you had about the video that was
Sure.
What about the bias on the video?
Among the concerns that we've expressed is, first, the video claimed to show some kind of a statement of the law, but I want to tell you that the law is governed by the Constitution of the United States of America.
Yes.
And the Constitution has been interpreted in a case called Tennessee versus Gardner. That was in 1985, over 35 years ago. And what that case said is it is not constitutional to shoot somebody in the back because they are fleeing unless there is an imminent danger that they are going to immediately exert some sort of bodily harm. Now, a guy who is running away from the cops does not meet that legal standard. It's unconstitutional, and it was misleading for the Colorado Sheriff's Department to put in the Colorado Springs Police Department to put that up as though that was some kind of a complete statement of the law, when they excluded our constitutional standard. This is the United States Supreme Court that says so, not Attorney Marty Newman.
What about the freeze frame?
Another significant concern we have is the fact that the video was created in a way where it was designed to freeze certain frames as though something was happening in those frames. But if you look at the video, what you see in real time is a man who is running away. He's not doing anything to try to hurt anybody. He is trying to get the heck out of there as quickly as he can. And some people might ask, why does a young African-American man run from the police? Let's look at the history.
I don't want to get tranquilized.
As a middle-aged white woman, would I run from the police? Probably not. But that is not my life experience. And I think that we need to put ourselves in the shoes of somebody else who has experienced something a little bit different than that. Now, do his folks wish he had not run away? I'm sure they do. But can we understand why a young African-American man would run away in the face of
Yes.
And while I'm standing here,
applying pressure to wounds.
I want to repeat
would have saved his life. Easy enough. Forget the shooting. What about that?
Running away from the police is not a capital offense. If the police indeed believed that Devon Bailey had committed some kind of crime, we've got a U.S. system of constitutional system where we arrest somebody, we charge them with a crime, we allow them to go to trial and confront their accuser. They get to be heard by a jury of their peers, ultimately sentenced by a judge if found guilty. What we don't do is go to summary execution for somebody who has the bad
We are not disposable.
We are not disposable.
We are not disposable. We are not disposable. We are not disposable. We are not disposable. We are not disposable. We are not disposable. We are not disposable. We are not disposable. We are not disposable.
We are not disposable.
I guess, Mari, back to the idea of the Attorney General's office. You mentioned Rockler would not be somebody that you would be in support of taking over this case. Would it be only AG, or would there be maybe another DA's office? Or
no one local. They're all united into accusing and oppressing the black man and minority.
Sure I'm kind of following like the line of thought the right way.
And I want to be clear.
No one local.
Dan May worked in the 18th Judicial District for many, many years. And so referring it to the district where he worked for years and is now led by a buddy of his, a co-defendant in a case where the two of them together are accused of mismanaging evidence and failing to disclose evidence properly. That would obviously be inappropriate. Now, the State Attorney General's office would be a choice that I think people could have some sense that it is indeed independent.
We have energy, we have tenacity, we have resilience. We are not going away.
Yes.
We are not going away. We're registered voters. The 2,000 that signed that petition, over the few days that we put it out, we are going to register that many voters and more. I suggest that the powers that be sit down and have a dialogue, a conversation with us. The city has been tone deaf for decades. And all those ingredients have fermented into what we have now. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are not disposable. We are not disposable. We are not disposable.